They can see me. Hello.
I don't want them to see you.
Okay.
That's rude.
Got it. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Ruthanna.
And I'm Jessica.
And welcome to Hearts on Fire. We hope you really enjoyed this evening. But first, we'd like to start out with a bit of prayer. So, Jessica, would you like to lead us off?
Sure.
Okay.
Lord, I just ask that you bless these women that are tuning in tonight, and bless the message, and just pray that any woman who hears this or person, Facebook or YouTube, gets what they need out of it, and just pray for everyone.
We just pray that your words be spoken, not ours, that your heart will be revealed tonight, and that we will just get to know who you are better and who you have called us to be more, so that we can go live effective lives for you. We just pray that with these videos and with what we're teaching, that we really learn how to be effective in embracing and activating our lives. We just really want to be shining beacons of light for you, to our families, and to all those around. And we just ask that this not only be here, but it be spread just into our everyday lives and everyone we're around. We just thank you for this, and we just pray your presence would be over this tonight, God. Make your presence become real to all these women who either watch us live tonight or comment later on. We just ask that your presence would be here tonight, God. And we thank you for that right now. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Alrighty, so the topic today is, does the tone of your voice match up with the intentions of what you're saying? It's a very interesting thought. I don't know how many of us actually consider the tone of our voice when we're talking to people, and most recently,
Except
husbands.
husbands.
Yes.
Husbands seem to notice your...
It's a real thing.
It's a thing that happens.
Yeah, so we just want to teach, with the topic tonight, we just want to, through learning how to use the tone of our voice to match up with what we're saying, we want to teach you guys how to embrace and activate it in your life and be authentic, and how you express your words through your tone. So, I'll go ahead and read the lesson tonight. When you're speaking with others, does the tone of your voice match up with your intentions of what you're saying? For example, when you tell your spouse you love him. Okay, so is it a quick bye, love you babe, out the door? Like, is it intentional when you say it, or is it just a thing you say? Because especially when you're using that word, it really, especially towards your spouse, it needs to be very intentional. Regardless if it's a quick bye, it needs to be sincere. Do you speak with an annoyed expression? When you talk to people, is the tone of your voice sound annoyed? Does it sound irritated? Does it sound joyful, happy, excited? Does it sound mundane? Like, what is the tone of our voice come across to people as? Let's see. When your friend asks you for something, does your answer have the tone of love in it? Or is the tone of your voice begrudging with your answer? Okay, we're going to give you an example here. Hey, Jessica, can I borrow $5?
No.
Okay. Was the tone of her voice very loving? Okay, let's try this again. Hey, Jessica, can I borrow $5?
I feel like I'm under pressure here. Yes, you can borrow $5.
Awesome, thank you so much. See, it's all in the tone of your voice and how you treat people.
So I'm
People will see, even in the tone of your voice, that you are Christians by the love you have for each other.
True.
And if your friend asks you to borrow $5, I mean, it's $5. I mean, whatever. But
really,
the point of it is when we're expressing God, it even has to do with the tone of your voice. You might be having a real hard moment, but if we're going to be shining beacons of light even in those hard moments, we still need to check ourselves and check the tone of voice that we're using. So,
right.
Sometimes when we speak to people, the tone of our voice is often not thought of, and it is considered often an afterthought. that just plainly being, sometimes you don't even think about how you're talking to somebody. I feel like a lot of people that we run into on a daily basis, they don't even, half the time, they don't even like realize what they're saying. Like, they just talk to like talk. So we need to make sure that whatever we're even saying is intentional, and that the meaning behind it's intentional, and just basically speak with intentionality and love is the most important. The tone of your voice is extremely important if you desire to get the correct message communicated between yourself and the person you're speaking with. Can take this example. Hey, Jessica, I love you so much. You're amazing. Now take this. Jessica, I love you. Just bye, whatever. Like, the tone of your voice.
So aggressive sounding.
Exactly. The tone of your
mom
voice. That was my mom's voice. The tone of your voice, even when you're dealing with your children, that's actually a great way to put it. Even when you're dealing with your children, needs to be that tone of, I really love you, sweetheart. Let's work through this. I still have to be your parent and correct you, but let's do it in love, versus, I am just so annoyed with you right now and I can't get past the next minute without letting you know. Like, there's a huge difference. And that was like over dramatized, but it got the point across.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
not,
you.
Like,
I do
I'm
love
not,
you
I'm
very,
not
very
at
much.
you.
We all need to pay more attention. Right. We all need to pay more attention to the tone of our voices and how we speak love into each other, because no matter what you're saying, you're speaking love into that person. Even if you're in conflict with somebody, you need to work on the tone of your voice, because from our hearts is the well, like from God's heart is the wellspring of life. And whatever you speak, however you speak, is the condition of your heart. We actually learned that in church on Sunday. I mean, I've always known it, but it was reiterated in church as the tone of your heart, the words that you speak, it is all going to come out of your mouth at some point. It just is. Whatever you watch, whatever you listen to, like your heart almost bottles all that up, and then it comes out of your mouth at some point. And it can be very begrudging. Like, this is especially difficult thing for those of us who bottle up our frustration and anger. I, for one, am one of those people.
I feel like a lot of women are like that.
I hate to admit it, but sometimes in life, you don't want to, like, you are so focused on other people or getting other people taken care of that you don't want to focus on yourself, so you put it back on the back burner. You're like, I'll take care of that emotion later. I'll just do this later. Or you feel guilty for even having negative emotion. But guess what? The more you bottle it up and you don't release it to God, or, I mean, you could even scream into a pillow. Like, the more you bottle it up and don't release it, the more it will come out in your daily, like, tone of voice when you're talking to people, and eventually even your words. And we don't want to be women who bottle things up, because that is not of God. And that's actually something else you could do is you could even, like, just take it to God. Be like, you know what? I have to just dump an emotional load at your feet because I know you're big enough to hold it all. Right. And just release it at that point. Just an emotional release on God is very effective. Also, as women, we cry because I really believe God made women to be emotional beings. That's how we can handle all the things in life that we handle. If you think about it, you have to handle the emotions of not only yourself, but your husband, your children, friends. Like,
we rephrase that. We don't technically have to handle that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're still around it. We're still gathering all that up.
Yeah, true.
Like, we have a lot on us, and we have to be able to release it. So if you can just visualize yourself going to the feet of God and just saying, here, like, take my, like, literally, like, visualizing a weight that you're, like, a barbell or whatever the weight might look like to you, just literally giving it over to Jesus and releasing yourself of that, you will notice such a difference in how you feel, how you talk, how you treat others, because you're, like, how you talk and how you treat others is, it's an indication, it's a demonstration, it's an outward realization of your heart condition. So we just need to really be careful that we're taking care of ourselves to the point that we're showing love to people around us. That's another huge part of taking care of yourself, is literally giving Jesus the weight of your problems, of just handing all of that over to him, because we can't carry all that. We have to be real with one another. Like, I know growing up, I never even like knew about this stuff, but part of Hearts on Fire is to bring to light all those things that are like hidden, that people don't talk about because it's an uncomfortable topic, such as this. Like, I don't know of any woman who ever talked about any of this stuff, but it's so important to bring it to light, because once you bring something like this to light, the devil can't use it anymore against you. And the less he has, you know, he can't he can't use what he doesn't have against you. And
That is true.
I really feel as if that might be something God is speaking to us tonight, is if we let God have control over us, that's something that the devil doesn't have. And the less he has, the better. The less he has to use against us, the better.
I like your little attitude at the end of that.
So
The less he has, the better.
it's so true though. Like, I know that this can even be applied to my life. Like, to be honest with you, it can be frustrating being a mom. It can be frustrating when you're also in a part of so many things at once, that you're trying to get everything organized. You feel like you have a lot on your plate. But even handing that over to God is very freeing, because we know that in our ability, we do much less than God himself can. So when we hand it all over to him, he works it out in amazing ways. To be honest, Hearts on Fire is one of those big ways that he handles it, because we actually last week we were looking back at our goals for 1, 5, 10 year. This right here was not on any of them.
Right?
Hearts on Fire was not a part of any of it. We had a lot of other goals. Some of it we have exceeded, some of it we've hit, some of it we haven't.
But we realized where God was
God is
taking our ministry as of where we thought our ministry was going. We didn't even have devotional as an option, and we have now written 2 of them, and we have a third one in the works.
And the best part about it is the first devotional that we have written, you guys are experiencing it live.
Yeah, we get to do this.
So,
like, we're reliving what we wrote.
All of the devotionals that we are doing currently is original material. It's stuff we wrote. So and I want to also put that it's not just stuff we wrote, but it's stuff that God is like. I wrote these devotionals. I called up Jessica quite frequently to be like, "Hey, does this sound good?" Like, but while I was writing them, it was literally like God downloads every devotional.
There's stuff we didn't think about,
and it had to have been God, because how many devotionals are here? Like 57 or something?
There's 52 in this one.
52 devotionals. My hand didn't cramp once. And I used up an entire pen. I was like, oh my good Lord. Like,
so we're just going to say, like, we wrote them. She wrote them physically in like 4, 5 days.
Yeah, that's incredible enough. Like, the fact that
She
God
was
and I
finishing
like,
up
sat down
some
and wrote
stuff
it.
for our group, which she's been helping us with. And I don't know. It's just been crazy.
It's been an incredible, mind-blowing journey.
It's so exciting.
And after this devotional, we do have a sequel, and it's called Love in Action. And it's literally a devotional based on pure love. It is phenomenal.
You guys well, while we have them, we
Yes.
should just talk about that.
Okay.
Love in Action. Like, what are we planning for that?
All right. Well, I actually have the devotional right here.
Do you like all our sparkly notebooks we got going?
So I can read you guys every topic that we're going to be covering. What is love? The world's definition versus God's definition. What is the true meaning of love? What is love in God's perspective? What is love even designed for? How can we walk in daily love? How can we be conveyors of love? And just conveyors, just how can we bring that love to other people, basically? How can we spotlight love in our lives? Like, how can you be a person that is well known for being a person of love? How can our lives be an example of God's love? How to walk in the light of love like Jesus did? How can love be active in your life? How to live daily in the presence of God's love? What does love look like? Being the hands and feet of God's love. Not all love is created equal. That's a fun one. And glorified love is the highest standard we are called to. It's agape love, which is God's love. And it talks about loving your neighbor as yourself, which is the greatest commandment in the Bible. It's been phenomenal to see.
I know, but what we're going to do with this one is we're actually going to do this one in a live, like, an in-person series.
Yep.
So we're planning on getting together with, you ladies will be first, like, to hear when we start doing these. We're going to get together in person, and we're going to work through those devotionals along with doing other things together and just...
Oh, we didn't tell them about the third devotional we got coming out. So,
that one's new.
As you all know, we have been doing the Proverbs 31 woman, and to be honest, I love the lady who wrote it. Like, she wrote phenomenally, and if I would have written a devotional about the Proverbs 31 woman, that is the exact devotional I would have written. Hands down, it would have been.
Right?
But this next devotional that we're going to start doing, it'll be the second week of March we start it, because Proverbs 31 ends after the first week of March. Yeah, it's been amazing, and you guys are going to love the ending. It is beautiful. Like, it made me cry a little bit, actually. But this next devotional we're going to be doing is called Unfiltered, I think it is. I could be wrong on the name.
No, we named it Unfiltered.
Okay, but it's going to talk about your everyday life. So basically, we're going to take notes on our daily lives, the hidden stuff, the secret stuff, like if it's husband and wife stuff, that's different. But I'm talking about like motherhood and all the struggles and challenges you go through that nobody talks about. All the stuff that you can get kind of frustrated about, but you don't talk about with other people. We're going to be writing about it.
Because it's like a taboo subject.
Yeah, all of it. Like,
we're going to address them.
We're going to be doing them in our real life examples.
So by the end of the year, we'll basically create a third devotional based on our daily lives that we live.
Yeah, that one won't be able to be written in 4 days because it's going to be a daily life thing. So, yeah, and that's going to be, I feel like, as we write those are going to definitely be inspired by God.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm going to just be praying that He highlights certain things for us to write about every day.
Or something that we both are struggling with.
Yeah, so anyway, those are exciting things to come. But yeah, I guess we could get to question session really quick. So Jessica, do you have an example? I know we've given a few on this video already, but do you have an example of how the tone of your voice, how in the past it maybe has or hasn't lined up with your intentions, and how that's affected your relationships?
Well, this one is going to be on the marriage side because I feel like it's a lot to do with my husband will bring it up. And I will be talking to him or telling him something, and the tone of my voice sounds frustrated and angry and like agitated, I guess, annoyed, like all of these big feelings,
right,
that I'm not actually feeling. I'm just talking, and I just happen to be like raising my voice, hashtag yelling. Like, I have a very, I think, aggressive tendency sometimes, and I come off as like, hey, what are you doing? Like, gonna lay some smack down, and really that's not.
She's a sweetheart.
I'm
like,
really not like that.
I've known her for over 3 years now, and she is absolutely gorgeous to the core. So, yeah.
It's just so funny. Like, my personality is so, like, but me, personally, like, on the inside is happy, free as a bird, like, happy-go-lucky, and I have no problem.
Very colorful.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't match my outside sometimes. Like, my aggressive tendencies will just overshadow, and it comes across in my marriage as like, oh my gosh, like she's yelling at me, or even my kids. I have seen my kids witness fear-stricken faces because I look like I'm about to.
Which, to be honest with you, I think as mothers, we can all relate to it at some point or another.
I'm like, oh, and then you see my kids go, ah.
That actually brings me to, I guess, my thing too is
what's yours?
After telling your kids like 10 million times not to do something, you get super frustrated.
Yeah, like 15
And then you go to talk to them, and the tone is very frustrating. Like they can tell you're frustrated, and they sometimes even feed off of that for their own behavior, and they make it worse. So in my instance, I need to I might be frustrated, but I need to put those feelings aside for the moment while you're parenting, and
then go back and tackle them.
Yeah, we can go back and tackle them. But in the moment, you need to set them aside and get on eye level with your kids, and in a loving tone, as much loving tone as you can muster in that moment. And I know it's going to be hard.
Even if you're lying through your teeth.
But that way your kids see that you're still going to love them regardless, even if they're being less than obedient.
I call mine. I'm really not trying to use that terminology.
But it's like, yeah. And then you can go back to like that previous feeling, and even doing that might calm you down a little bit to where you can actually hash out that previous feeling and just take it to God's feet, because he's the only one who can really handle that and turn it to something good. Yeah. So I would say in every relationship, just watch the tone of your voice. Make sure that when you're talking to somebody that your tone matches your intentions, because it's super important, especially when you're trying to talk about the love of God and not even talking about it, but trying to show it. So, yeah. So I would like to leave you all with this tonight, and then we're going to close in prayer. So this is from Numbers 6:24 through 26. And I'm going to try to start ending this particular verse with every video or live that we do. So this is my prayer for all of you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. So I just pray his utmost blessings to all of you. May they pour down like rain from the sky, and may they be extravagant in blessing. So would you like to close this out in prayer?
Nope, you can do it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to leave you to that one.
All right. Dear Lord, we just come to you this evening, and we thank you for all that you have imparted on our hearts and minds, the wisdom that you have shared with us. And we just ask that we be more intentional with the words we speak. May the tone of our voice match up with our intentions. Even when we're frustrated, God, we know that our intentions are meant for good, not bad. And we just pray that even in frustration, you would help us to set that emotion aside and really focus on love in the moment. And then we can go back and deal with those emotions a little bit later, and maybe in a more peaceful situation. We just thank you for that, God. We thank you for being a part of our daily lives. And we thank you for revealing yourself to us more and more every day, all the time, so we can become more like you all day, every minute, God. That's what we desire most, is just grow closer to you, to your image, and to who you are. We just thank you for all these beautiful, wonderful ladies. We just ask that you multiply blessings on their lives, God. We just ask for just showers upon showers of blessing, and that you will multiply it not only over them, but over their friends, their family, their community, and that they will just see an outpouring of your love, your grace, and your mercy and blessings on their life, God. In every situation, no matter if they are struggling in it or not, God. We just thank you for that right now. It's in your holy and precious name we thank you. In your name, amen.
Amen.
So thank you guys for watching. I see Sherry McMillan. It's good to see you. Sarah Lynn, awesome. Always great to see you. And Hannah Marie, thank you for watching too. It's great to see you too.
Yes.
You ladies have a blessed week, and we're going to be recording next week, as next week is Awaken at our church, so we're going to be there, but we will be recording and posting a video, so you guys won't have to miss a week. And we will see you soon. We will see you guys soon. Sorry, my speech is funky right now.
Bye, ladies. We love you.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Be blessed and bless others.